So there's just, it's ridiculous in that sense. And frankly, those people are getting slaughtered. 500,000 Ukrainians are dead, right? So, like, where are we going, right? And what's the end result here? Because right now it's like a stalemate, right? So nobody's like playing to win, which is kind of what happened to Rome. They were just holding what they got. There were so many examples of, like, who was it? The barbarians that. Who was it that came down and was like literally out the gates outside Rome, and then one of the emperors just paid him all this gold to go away.
This was in 410. This was Alaric, the Visigoths, and they started paying him tribute from that. So from 410 until 476, when it falls, they're actually paying tribute annually to the Visigoths under Alaric.
Yeah, they're paying them not to come sack Rome, basically, at that point. And they're like melting down everybody's gold, taking everybody's gold and all that stuff. So, like, it's different in the sense that, like, it's not the same type of world today, but it's the same in, like, all this is causing big loss in purchasing power, right? It's causing a lot of strain on the system, right? We talked about 10 million, illegal immigrants coming in. And I did a rundown the other day, was just looking at the state of Maryland. It's upwards of almost $100,000 in benefits that they get. Like, hotel nights every day, all your per diem, they get laundry services, they get all this stuff. And so, like, how is that sustainable in the end? It's not. As effectively, it ultimately crumbles in some way, shape, or form. And then you get into an area of just, like, the whole quality of life goes down. And that's what usually happens at the end of these things. The quality of life you're used to goes down. And so, talk to us about, like, all this is going on, right, in Rome. What's the people's life like at this point in time? What are they going through?
Well, I want to add one thing to what you just said, because I think that's really important, where you mentioned about Maryland. So I'm here in the New York area, and right now the place where they're housing all the illegals that are also getting benefits is the Roosevelt Hotel, right on, I think it's 8th Avenue or something like that. It's just, I've walked past it. There's actually a dumpster out front of this hotel, Dave, where the illegals are throwing away a lot of the free things they've gotten, like strollers and stuff like that. They're brand new with the tags and stickers and stuff still on them, but they don't want them and they're just throwing them away. Like, to me, and your tax money has paid for those things. That's wild.
Right,
but anyway, I guess looking at how the regular
being undisciplined. So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And so I guess the thing you have to understand in this time period is what you're losing is what it means to be Roman. And that's what's being lost for the regular people. Because as groups are blending, Rome takes this transition from a Roman Empire to a barbarian empire, because there's the group is enlarging, right? Like, you have the Visigoths coming in, the Ostrogoths, the Vandals, the Suaves. You have a lot of these groups coming in. And I apologize for any pronunciation errors that happen here, because I know there's going to be people out there be like, you said it wrong. Sometimes I do. I'm from New Jersey. We say things wrong. But you have all these groups start to come in, and they're not bought into the Roman system, right? Like, maybe they like the idea of being Roman and the benefits of what it's like to be Roman, but they're not Roman. And what starts to happen is you have the power crumbling, and as the Roman emperors, you mentioned, are paying tribute to some of these tribes, you start to have barbarian kings that are actually running the Roman emperors. So what happens is you have the populace is kind of changing over as these new groups are coming in. The power structure is changing over as these new groups are coming in. And then by 476, when the emperor really has no power and he's a child, his name is Romulus Augustus, you have this barbarian king named Odoacer that comes in and basically deposes him because he's been running him the whole time. And he says, listen, we're going to do away with this whole thing that there's an emperor, and you can go kind of just live somewhere else. We'll pay for your life, and you can retire. So they don't kill him. And something happens to him eventually. We don't know what, but they don't kill him. And so what happens is the Roman Empire doesn't really fall. It kind of fades away, right? It takes this transition from, it goes to being Roman. It brings in all these new people. It starts to lose what it means to be Roman. There's inflation coming in. The power structure is being destroyed, because once there's no money, right, to pay for these social programs, to pay for the system, well, there's no system anymore. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
So the system doesn't really collapse. It kind of fades away. And then once that there is no system, well, the barbarians that have been moving in for hundreds of years don't need it anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah,